Hi, I'm Wilna Furstenberg and I'm bringing you a little tutorial on the rule of thirds today. I'm going to show you how I put this page together, but first I just want to mention a couple of things about the rule of thirds. And I had a wonderful discussion with my photography friend Danny van Stieland, who's an amazing photographer. And she came into my studio and explained a little bit of the rule of thirds. And here is what she had to say.
Perhaps as part of the way we were taught to read, we generally enter pages from the top left-hand corner and we leave out the bottom right-hand corner. So when you look at an image and you put a grid across it, the thirds grid, you have those intersecting lines where your eye is most drawn to. So if you have items that are of significant importance or photos laid out on a scrapbook page, those little pieces that you definitely want the eye to sort of stop there for a second, you want them to follow along those intersecting lines. So you can see on this image, we've laid the grid over top of our bride here, and that her body falls right along one of those third lines, and her eyeball is almost right on the intersecting line. And very similar to this image, rule of thirds is something that I use often, and I tend to put my subjects in the in the right hand corner where your eye is leaving, where it's kind of the last thing you're going to see. In some images, like the next one coming up here, we have a third line that's going to fall across their eyes, a horizontal third line that's going to fall right across their eyes, as well as a vertical third line that's going to fall right along those hands holding, and there's going to be sort of that spot focus right on her ring.
Thank you, Danny. I love using the rule of thirds in scrapbooking, and when I went through all my pages, I was really surprised to see how often I use it. And I was looking in the garden gallery and I found these pages by Marcy Penner and Elizabeth Katchner and Lilith Eccles that you can see how amazingly well they use the rule of thirds. Moving on, I'm going to show you quickly in a couple of minutes how I created this page. The theme for April is color, and the color assigned to me was pink because I requested it. And I painted my nails pink and I wore my pink sweater just to make this video. So I'm using a lot of the Maggie Holmes products and those beautiful, we call it hair clips in our house because my girls just want to wear it in their hair, and just some of her beautiful products and the Dear Lizzie ribbons, beautiful papers. And I'm going to use the rule of thirds and I'll show you how I put the page together. So those are just a couple of the products that I pulled thinking I'm wanting to use it, and I want to use gray as well just to offset the picture that's black and white. So first of all, I'm going to mount this beautiful paper by Maggie Holmes, a third of it, and then I'm going to add embellishments almost as a border just to break the page up. And I'm going to use the ribbons, adding a little bit of hot glue, 3 different pink ribbons. And I created those papers by punching them, those little ones, and one is a die cut from my silhouette. And I'm just going to slot the picture underneath the ribbons and just start adding some embellishments. You can see I slit the hairpins embellishments just through the buttons of the tags, so there wasn't a lot of science there. And I'm just adding a couple of stickers and that beautiful pink bow tie and the yellow, and I'm going to use the October afternoon sprinklers and just add a little bit of splatter. Even though my color is pink, I don't want the whole page to be pink. So I opted for more neutral with splashes of pink. There I'm using a big round brush to make those beautiful drops of paint. Right, mounting the page, I'm just going to cut the white cardstock a little smaller so that a little bit of the Studio Calico Sundrifter paper, that beautiful grey with all the writing on it, will show from the back. And I'm using my Making Memories paper trimmer, which I love. I've had it for years. So now I'm just going to mount it and add my picture and add my journaling. And that's basically the page. It's not a very embellishment heavy page. And sometimes I found that when you use good design, you don't need as much embellishments because your eye falls exactly on the most important part of the page. So I'm just mounting the white cardstock, and as I've said before, I like to mount my pages on 2 pieces of paper just because I photograph them and it makes it easier. So there's the details, and I'm adding some stamps from the Dear Lizzie, those beautiful sentiment stamps. And there's my page. Thank you for watching, and I challenge you to use the rule of thirds on your next page or layout. This is Wilna, and I love design.